Rabotai, continue with our preparations for Pesach. We were speaking about some of the Halachot of Hechsher Kelim. Now, based on the rule that we said yesterday, which is Kibol Ol Kach Polto, depending on how a vessel is used, how it absorbs the chametz, that's how it's going to release the chametz flavor as well. With regards to the material that the vessel is made out of, according to Maran Zechron Avracha Chazon Avadia, whether a vessel is metal or plastic, as opposed to klicheres and stuff, but metal and plastic are subject to the laws of Kibol Ol Kach Polto. Meaning, for instance, let's say you have a bowl or something like that, or a fork or a knife that didn't come in contact necessarily with the Kli Rishon itself. Rather, you pour boiling water or boiling foods into these things. You kasher it the same way with Airui Mikli Rishon, which means you boil up either a pot of water or an electric kettle with water. That's the same thing with regards to Hechsher Kelim. Fire and electricity is the same thing. So you can pour the boiling water onto it. It's called the Airui Kli Rishon, and then it becomes kasher. Same thing with flatware and things of that nature. Unless you want to do Hag'ala, Bevadai Hag'ala is a higher level than Airui Mikli Rishon. Certainly you can do that to these things. Now, if you have certain materials that are used with cold, for instance, Kiddush cups, goblets, refrigerators, freezers over there, there's no hechsher necessary. All it needs is a good cleaning. You have to scrub it with soap and water, and that's sufficient. Now, with regards to glass is a very big machloket. L'da'at Maran Shulchan Aruch, glass does not require any hechsher whatsoever. Even if it was used with hot chametz throughout the year, nevertheless, it doesn't require chametz because it doesn't absorb to begin with. It doesn't matter whether it's clear glass, crystal, colored glass, they're all the same. According to Maran, it does not require hechsher lePesach. Nevertheless, according to the Rama and Poskei Ashkenaz, they treat it as klicheres, they treat it as ceramic, and it cannot be kasher, according to Minhag Ashkenazim, and some Sfaradim. The Ben Ish Chai is also machmir to somewhat of a degree. Nevertheless, according to Maran, it is permissible. Now, what did I miss? With regards to a frying pan, person who wants to kasher a frying pan, we spoke about yesterday, a pot needs hag'ala. You cook in a pot, you need to do hag'ala to the pot, and you need to purge it in a pot that's bigger than it in boiling water. How do you look at a frying pan? What's a frying pan? Because over there by frying pan, you don't use a lot of liquid. Only a little bit of oil, maybe you spray it a little bit with some oil. Yeah. Yeah. So he says the Shulchan Aruch says that during tefillah, it's a siman yafet to sneeze. Anyway, so with regards to the frying pan, da'at Maran is that it's considered like a pot, and hag'ala is enough to it, even though you don't use a lot of liquid. According to the Rama, nevertheless, a frying pan requires libun hamur. Requires you have to torch it with fire because it's only a little bit of liquid. Nevertheless, we hold like Maran that hag'ala is sufficient. There's machloket. Many of the frying pans that we have today are Teflon. Teflon is non-stick material. There's a machloket whether or not, or any non-stick material, whether or not you can kasher. Many poskim hold that you cannot kasher Teflon or other non-stick material at all because it's bolea and it's not polit, or at least it's a chashash. Nevertheless, according to Agon Rabbi David Yosef in his Sefer Torah Moadim, among other poskei Sfarad, Teflon is just like any other material, and it is kasherable. If it's a frying pan or if it's a pan and it's non-stick, you can do hag'ala to it, and that will be sufficient. Yom Tov Mevorach.